the TCI Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight from Avondale High School, it's the Madison Eagles taking on the Avondale Yellow Jackets. Hello everyone, Dave Zorin along with Bob Griglak here at Avondale High School for the second week in a row where we'll take a look at the Yellow Jackets taking on the Madison Eagles. And the Eagles have a pretty good record, Bob.
3-2 overall, 2-1 in conference, so it's a big game for them. They need to win this one. Okay. They won the last game 42-21 against Fitzgerald, so they're on a hot streak.
What kind of a team is Madison? What can we look for from them?
They do a lot of running. They're a real power team. They run out of the wing tee in the backfield, so in other words, they're going to do a lot of running today and not a lot of passing.
Okay, and we saw the Yellow Jackets last week. If you didn't get a chance to see them, they can pass and they can run the ball, so it should be a pretty interesting battle. We'll be back with the kickoff of tonight's game right after these messages. Stay with us. Oakland Press Perspective with Neil Monroe is an informative talk show that discusses issues often overlooked by broadcast stations. Neil Monroe, the editor of the Oakland Press newspaper, will keep you abreast on hot topics, events, and issues taking place in Oakland County. So for news you can use, join Neil Monroe every week on the Oakland Press Perspective, Friday night at 8:30 on TCI 63. The TCI Sports Game of the Week. This week we're at Avondale High School here in Auburn Hills to see the Yellow Jackets take on the Madison Eagles. And last year's records for these two teams, 5-2 in the conference for Madison, 7-2 overall, 4-3 in the conference for Avondale, 5-4 overall. This year, pretty good season for the Eagles as they are 2-1 in the conference and 3-2 overall in the MOAC. The Avondale Yellow Jackets 1-2 after the loss last week we saw here to Clawson, and they are 1-4 overall.
Close game against Clawson last week, 13-6. It was a hard-fought game, and this is a real good 1-4 team. You're not going to see a slouch here. Today's homecoming. There's Coach Tony Messina, and he's got his players pumped up, and there's a big crowd here, so hopefully put on a good show for us.
Homecoming, and the Yellow Jackets looking for a big homecoming victory as they will be receiving the kickoff. And there we see the head coach, Robert Kroll, on the far side, the Madison Eagles head coach. And a very successful season for him after putting his starting tailback for the past two seasons at quarterback, and we'll talk about that. That is right there, number 34, and that's the man we're talking about. Actually, Lopesey's the big fullback. Scott Gale, 33, is the one we're talking about. Here's the kick. It's a short, high kick, and it could be an onside kick, and that's what it turns out to be, as right off the bat, the Eagles come up with what appeared to be an onside kick. Now, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it sure turned out that way as the ball bounced around, and it caught the Yellow Jackets off guard right off the bat.
Looked like number 60 had the ball bounce right out of him. That's one of the problems with having the linemen try to field in one of those kickoffs. Of course, you don't see it too short kickoff like this too often. Number 50, excuse me, he drops the ball, and the Eagles fall right on it. Number 50 is Fori Boca. He's one of the captains.
And he carries the ball occasionally,
that's right.
too.
He is one of their running backs.
Here we go at quarterback, Scott Gale, and he hands off on the first play for the Eagles. Scott Gale, number 33, was a starting tailback 2 years for the Eagles, and now has gone to quarterbacking this team and has done a pretty good job so far.
He's a pretty solid 5'10", 200 pounds, so he carries a big frame back there. And what they'll do out of the wing is they'll kind of run him out of there, and he'll be a third weapon, or fourth weapon actually, out of that wing tee.
Mike Lopes on the carry, the tailback, number 34, for about 4 yards. It is 2nd and 6. The pass goes out to number 21, Brian Miller. Miller down the sidelines and finally knocked down at about the 25-yard line.
He actually threw that ball backwards, I believe, Dave, so that's considered a run. It's considered a lateral when you toss it back. We'll take a look here, see if he does throw it backwards. It's kind of right at the line. He kind of took a step backwards, so it's going to be a close call depending on the statistician here today. But nonetheless, it is a first down and a big gainer for him.
Big gain for the Eagles as they start at the 25. First and 10 now. In motion is Krieger. John Krieger. The pitch goes back to Lopes. Lopes tries to cut upfield, and there's a flag on the play as he stumbles around the line of scrimmage. Not much there.
That flag was thrown deep in the defensive secondary. It's usually an illegal block downfield. We'll see what the call is. That's what it is, a hold. He tried to hold somebody coming across. So that'll push him back 10 yards from the point of the foul.
And this penalty will knock the Eagles back now to make it a 1st and 20. Let's hear the call.
Oh, I guess he forgot he had his mic on there, Dave. Here's take a look at here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. The hold is actually deep in the backfield, so you're not going to see it. You have plenty of blocking in front of him. He just slips right here on the field, trying to cut back in. Really can't see the hold. The hold might have been just up a little bit.
Here we go, 1st and 20. Some confusion as the quarterback takes it himself. And Scott Gale is just buried by the Avondale defense.
That holding play was a big call, Dave. The reason being is they had the ball down at the 25-yard line. This kicker for the Eagles is Tony Gardner. He's got about a 40-yard range, so he was right within his range, right close to the range that pushes him out of range. So we'll see what happens. There's our homecoming crowd.
Big crowd, big turnout, and the weather a little bit more accommodating tonight. It is summer-like temperatures as opposed to last week when it was a little bit colder with a strong breeze. Quick slant in, complete, and getting most of the yardage back is Brian Miller. Scott Gale hit Brian Miller on a quick slant in, Bob, and that caught Avondale off guard.
I'll tell you what, it was a nice pass. Watch the touch on this one. He's going to catch it right in the fingertips. There's no drop back, just a quick pass. And look at that, just right over on top of the fingertips, and makes a nice run after the fact, got another 7 yards. There's our mascot.
And Jurisic looked like Jurisic on the tackle, number 23. 3rd down and 5, and now the Eagles have something to work with. Gale, back to pass, was going to run it and does a little shuttle pass forward. It's complete, and he picks up the 1st down.
He almost couldn't get that ball out, Dave. He threw it from the hip, and it didn't look pretty, but it was effective. Take a look right here. Yeah. As he comes off the line of scrimmage, he fakes the handoff 32 going around in. Gale's got the ball. Now watch, he'll run into his own blocker right here. He kind of has to go around him. Now watch him shovel it right from the shoulder. It's like a shot put.
It looked like he might have been ready to run at that one point and then saw the defender right in his face.
That was a good, smart play.
1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. They can get the 1st down at the 1. On the carry, Lopes. And Lopes has been carrying on 1st downs and been doing a pretty good job of it.
What they're trying to do is run the motion man away from the play. What they're doing is running him across the line of scrimmage, away and out, and running the 2nd man through the backfield, trying to get him to pop one. That time they handed it to the 1st man, and he went over tackle for about a 4-yard gain. Or actually
Lopes,
3.
Their fullback, listed as their fullback at 5'9", 170. There on the far sideline, the head coach, Robert Kroll, the one leaning forward.
That's about what you played at when you played high school, didn't you?
Yeah. Gale to throw, getting pressured, unloads, and still on his feet, and touchdown. What a run. What a reception and a run by Mike Lopes to pick up the touchdown from Madison. And just sheer determination there, Bob.
He's 5'9", 170, but watch him bounce off a couple tacklers here. They didn't wrap him up. Now here's the pass. The pass is actually thrown a little late. He was open a little bit before that. He was lucky to get the ball in there because it was kind of a weak pass. He was open for quite a while, as you can see. Now he breaks tackle of number 1 and number 4. 4 was Jeff Wilson. He should have wrapped him up, but he got it around the corner and went in for the touchdown.
The extra point attempt, it is up, and it is no good. The extra point no good, just wide. And the Madison Eagles lead 6-0 over the Avondale Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets have yet to touch the ball offensively. And I think that is what started the game off a little bit shaky for the Yellow Jackets. They caught them off guard. The defense wasn't even ready to go out there, really prepared on the sideline. All of a sudden, they've got to go right out there on that onside kick, and you've got a guy like Gardner who can really boot the ball, and he comes up with an onside kick.
It's a mental set that when you get the offense out there, you expect them to get the ball after a kick like that. Now the defense has got to run out, as you mentioned, and they weren't ready, and they were on their heels, and you can see it. The Eagles went right down the field for a touchdown. they did mix things up reasonably well with the pass and the run, so that really helped in set the touchdown up, because 2 or 3 of the big plays were passing plays.
The Eagles to kick off again. Back to receive for the Yellow Jackets, number 4 Jeff Wilson and number 1 Kenneth Hutchins, their quarterback.
Let's see if the first kick was a planned kick and see if he boots this one away.
This one's a little deeper, taken at the 10 by Hutchins. Hutchins last week had some trouble on the kickoffs, and again shows it here. But no trouble on the return as he gets it out to about the 23, 24-yard line.
Kind of a sleek run back. He gave him a leg and pulled it back and got an extra 8 yards on that run back. That low line drive kick, it's hard to see because it's a difficult lighting situation here now. There's our score, 6-0.
6-0, just under 8 minutes left here in the first quarter for an Avondale homecoming. And now the Yellow Jackets have a chance to do something offensively. Next week, don't forget to tune in. Big matchup as the Troy Colts take on the Kimball Knights. Quick handoff this time and nothing there. The handoff going to Joey Allen, number 22, looked like. Yep. Joey Allen.
Allen had a big game at the end of last week. He is really running well, and it looks like they're going to feature him. Let's take a look on this play. It's just a straight handoff off tackle. He gives it to Allen, who runs over his blockers. He really didn't finish the block. You can see 76 kind of lit up right there at the last second. That was Jamie Robinson. He's a big guy, 6'4", 225, and they got 2 yards on the play.
Avondale band there in the shot, and now after the 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 now for the Yellow Jackets. Hutchins on the handoff. This time it's Agaboka. Ofori Agaboka. And Agaboka was the one who had a chance to get that kickoff, and unfortunately didn't work out for him.
The right side of the line blocked down, and it was great blocking up front. I'm going to give Robinson some credit this time for following through and sustaining a block that opened up a big hole for Agaboka, who got the first down.
There he is, the senior, 5'9". Hutchins calls the signals after the first down carry. And he gives it to Agaboka again on the dime, and a big gain for about 7 or 8 yards for Agaboka.
Exact same play, Dave, that time. You can see the right tackle, number 76, is blocking down. They found a hole in that defense, and they ran right over the left tackle, or right tackle, and got a nice 8-yard gain, or 7-yard gain, sets up 2nd and short. This is a good play right here for the offense. They can run just about anything as long as they don't go backwards. If you get 1 or 2, sets up 3rd and short.
Yep. The 2nd and 4 now. They mark it back for a 6-yard gain. Like he got more initially. Hutchins on the carry, takes it himself. Look out, he's got some speed. To the 20, to the 10, and he's in for a touchdown. Kenneth Hutchins showing his speed.
Number 11, John Krieger was chasing him. He just didn't have the speed to catch up with Hutchins. He did it the last second, but what a great fake up in the line of scrimmage. They ran, you'll see right here, here's the fake. Everybody thinks this ball's going up the middle. Now watch the fake. Boom, Hutchins has still got the ball. They're all making the tackle. Hutchins goes around right in, and boom, he's gone. Watch him, right here, right sprinting down the end zone. And 11, Krieger is going to come after him. He's got an angle on him, but doesn't catch him to the last second. Hutchins looking around. I'll tell you what, you got to just run, son, because he's right on your tail.
60 yards on the carry by Hutchins, and now the extra point attempt. Major to kick, it is good, and a big extra point.
Well, that's the first extra point they've made in 2 weeks, Dave, so that's a big one, you're right.
Hutchins on the 60-yard run, and Major, Brandon Major on the extra point. And the score 7-6. The Yellow Jackets lead here on homecoming night.
Dave, I got to tell you, this is the most exciting game we've had yet this year. I mean, it's only the first quarter, I know, but it's 7-6. You got 2 teams going right down for scores. Both offenses look like they're clicking and doing some good, running good plays. Not a lot of penalties. There's Kenneth Hutchins, quarterback, also kick returner, also defensive back. He does it all for this team.
And the senior getting a lot of playing time. 5'11", 160. He's got some speed, as you saw. As soon as he got past that line of scrimmage, Nobody could catch him.
Well, actually, Krieger did catch up to him right at the end, but that's because Hutchins was looking around. I think he was trying to...
he was coasting into the end zone.
He was coasting, there's no doubt.
Here's Major to kick off. Taken at the 10 by the Eagles. And finally down, and that was a run back return of about 20 yards out to about the 30-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start. Not bad field position.
Not bad, and they've got a chance right here to establish that offensive again. And one thing I want to point out, Dave, this is the first game we've done this year where the weather has not been a factor, or field conditions.
That's right.
It's just a perfect day.
Yeah, this is probably the best evening that we've had to do a football game this year, and we're already into October. The handoff on the dive and a big run here by Todd Greaves. Greaves goes out to about the 50-yard line, down at about the 48.
The old cross-buck play where he's going to turn around and hand the ball to the running back right there, coming across, and it pops a hole right up the middle. Good run. He almost falls over his feet trying to get a little bit too. There's a nice tackle right there. This by number 4.
Todd Greaves on the big run out to about the 48-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start their next possession here. Gale, bootleg. Remember, he was a tailback before he started the quarterback position this year. And a flag down at the line of scrimmage. It looks like it's coming back.
That's typically the case. Somebody's either holding or clipping back in that corner. He had a nice run, a lot of room in front of him. That shows that running back ability. Looks like they're talking to Coach Bob Crowell.
Remember, he was a starting tailback 2 years in a row, and he shows you the speed there. And in talking to head coach Kroll before the game, I said, this guy can run.
All right, let's see if we can see the clip here as he goes around corner. 54 leading block. He's got the ball in the right hand. Let's see, there's a block. It might have been a block right there in the back. Yep, that's where they called it. Right at, close to the line of scrimmage.
Let's see if we can hear the call down there.
Tony Messina. Yep, he's happy about that. That pushes him way back because they actually called that clip behind the line of scrimmage, so it'll go back, looks like 15 yards, 16 yards. That's a big penalty.
Big break for the Yellow Jackets as it looked like the Eagles were on the move. 4:44 and counting down here in the first quarter. The handoff again to Graves. Graves breaks it outside. And they finally catch up to him inside the 20-yard line at about the 18.
A little cross-buck counter did the same thing right up the middle. The same play that prior to the penalty where they got the big yardage. They came back and did the same thing.
Let's take a look.
There it is. He turns around, gives it to him right coming up the middle on a little cross. And he cuts the ball back, goes outside, and you're going to see the speed right here. 39 has got an angle on him. That's Dale Bobby. And number 4, Jeff Wilson. They catch up to him. Tackle made right there, actually by number 8, which was Walt Ladchuk.
Ball at the 19 right now. 1st and 10 there. And this time on the carry, the fullback, Mike Lopes. Well, it looked like the Yellow Jackets had them deep in their own territory. 1st and 20-some yards to go. And they come right back on the next play and get a big gainer for a 1st down.
Keep in mind, this offensive team here, the Eagles, scored 41 points last week against a no-slouch Fitzgerald team. So they've got a lot of offensive tact. And as I mentioned in the open, Robert Crowell said, he says, we're going to run the ball. And that's what they're doing. They're running it effectively.
2nd down and 5. On the straight dive. That was Lopes on the carry. It gains a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 coming up here.
One of the advantages for the defense when you have the ball close to the goal line is you can bring your safeties up and pinch toward the line. By doing that, it closes the middle in, and you're not going to get that big hole like you did earlier down the field, Dave.
There's part of the homecoming crowd and trying to get the Yellow Jackets fired up to stop the Eagles. They have been very successful on their 2 possessions. And they want to put their 2nd one in the end zone. The straight dive and another good carry. 1st down for Todd Graves.
Let's take a look at the spot, Dave. It's going to be real close.
Now they picked it up. 1st and goal. Ball at about the 3-yard line.
Look, we got a real big crowd here compared to last week. I'd say we've got close to 600 or 700 people here.
Big crowd and a loud one, as you could tell. A little bit more exciting when you get a crowd into the game. Here's the straight dive and a touchdown.
Picking on the middle of the line. They've done it the whole drive. They must have spotted something deficient in the defense. They're running a 4-2 on the defense, so trying to bring the linebackers in a little closer. You can't see it here. Good offensive line surge. That's what did it. Running right up the middle for the touchdown.
And taking it himself was Scott Gale, I believe, on that one. With the big mess down there, I couldn't see.
Well, maybe if we get another replay, we could probably tell ourselves.
Looks like it was Scott Gale who just stepped back and took it in.
When you get a line surge like that, everybody's standing up. It's difficult to see. There's our score, 12-7. We're preparing for the extra point. Looks like they're going to go for 2.
They've got to get the extra point that they missed. Got to get that back. And they're on a roll, so speaking of roll, Gale just tries to dump it off real quick, and that is incomplete, so they pick up another 6, and that's all they get.
Well, it takes a lot of pressure also off the Yellow Jackets later on. They can come down. Here's the play again. You're going to see a replay. He's going to roll out. He's going to look for a receiver. He's not really throwing the ball with he's kind of throwing it from the shoulder, not throwing it with any type of velocity on it. Maybe he's got a shoulder problem, and he's trying to hide it. It wasn't mentioned earlier in the game, so far he has not thrown the ball with any type of authority. The one crisp pass he had was actually wasn't. It was floated in there on the little slant pattern over the middle. All the rest of them have been pretty sloppy, actually.
A lot of scoring, 12-7 here in the first quarter. Hey, don't forget the Roadshow video program right here on TCI 63. And this month, Brad and, or I should say, excuse me, Bubba and Pat take you up to Almont, Michigan to experience paintball.
Yeah, they're in the cow field that time.
They're in the cow field. They're in the cow field coming up. And I have to apologize to Bubba because I keep getting these things to read, and it still says Brad on here, and I say Brad. My deepest sympathy and apologies to Bubba Wicker. Here's another high, short kick taken at the 26-yard line. And as a result, the Yellow Jackets get real good field position, ball at about the 33, 34-yard line.
All right, Dave, this is an important drive for this Yellow Jacket team. Take a look at the kickoff against another short one. This time it's fielded well. I think it's about a 5-yard return, but nonetheless, they do get good field position, and that's all they wanted to get this started.
And there is Bubba Wicker, the star of Roadshow Video, one of the stars, I should say.
Yeah, I think our producer would take offense to that.
Yeah, I think so. Which one's Beavis and which one's Butthead? That's the question. 1st and 10. Ball at the 33, and movement all across the line, and flags fly after Allen carries for about 2 yards.
Little movement in the backfield that time, Dave. Looks like the right halfback moved just prior to the snap, moved ahead. It might have been number 22, Joey Allen. Let's see if we can get a call here from the ref. He's got a mic on, but it just doesn't want to call it, I guess, today.
Here we go. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, illegal motion. Could you read his lips on that?
Illegal motion. I did read that. That was an easy one.
Okay, we apologize for that difficulty. 2:06 left here in the first quarter, and the Yellow Jackets knocked themselves 5 yards back. They've got a 1st and 15 now. Kenneth Hutchins, the quarterback. He's got 2 men in the backfield, Agboka and Allen in motion. Here's number 46, Slavinsky. Going downfield and off the fingertips of number 40, Jason Hansen.
Hansen had a rough time last week also, Dave, and this is the first pass thrown to him, and that ball should have been caught. It was right in his hands, chest high, shoulder high, and that was an easily catchable ball.
And the Eagles were right there if he did catch it. 2nd down and 15 now. And the Yellow Jackets' decision time. Do they want to go to the air again or stick to the ground?
They need to get at least half of that yardage back, get around to close to 40-yard line at least.
2 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 up top for Hutchins. Hutchins drops back, not too deep, and the pressure finally gets to him. And it is number 71, Rob Ralph, on the sack.
Well, I tell you what, Hutchins stayed in that pocket a little too long. You can see right here, he's going to look for a receiver downfield, but he's not a big guy. He's only about 5'10". He's standing in that pocket. He can't see from his blind side. That's where the sack comes from. It's actually
number 33, Scott Gale, right. Got in there too. Rob Ralph finished him off, 6'3", 265, big guy. And Scott Gale, of course, the quarterback at 5'10", 200. Scott, a pretty good big guy himself.
There's a lot of LBs on that pile there.
3rd down and 20. Yellow Jackets have to go to the air here. Let's see if they do it. No, they go to the counter and surprise the Eagles and picks up the first down. Agboka finally brought down at the 35.
What a call. Tony Messina pulled one that time right out of the bag of tricks. Everybody's thinking pass. Tony Messina says, no, watch the counter here. Turns around, watch it. Agboka takes the ball up. He's going to make a key block right up here. He's actually going to pull up one of his blockers. He's going to wait for him right here. There it is. Nice block, gets him an extra 20 yards. That ball was almost a clip too. But Jason Hansen, nice block downfield. Catching up to Agboka is number 12, Eric Swanson.
Ball just inside the 35-yard line, and the Yellow Jackets are in business with 31 seconds left here in the first quarter. Straight handoff. On the carry, number 39, Dale Bowlby.
Tell you what, that got that offensive line pumped up because that offensive line surge got him 5 or 6 yards. Bowlby just followed it and made a nice gain out of it.
Bowlby with a good pickup of about 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4 coming up. Or maybe 5.
Let's say 5. That'd be our last play here in the first quarter.
Closer to 4.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
It's a long 4.
They've got a ways to go, we'll say that.
A look on the sideline at number 35 for the Yellow Jackets.
Bates. Bates.
He was staying off when he was off.
And working hard down there as we see Tony Messina and the homecoming crowd excited about the Yellow Jackets on this drive. Chance to take the lead. They trail 12-7 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, both of them. How do we know when this one?
Ouch.
They've had some positive things happen to them in this game. They've got a 1-4 record, keep that in mind. But they've also had a good drive on the first time they had the ball. They made the mistake initially on the kickoff, came right back and scored, got an extra point, which they haven't done in 3 weeks, so that's positive. Now they're taking the ball again right down the field, and if they could score here, I'll tell you what, the momentum might carry them in for a victory today.
And that is what they need. The Yellow Jackets are not used to being 1-4 overall. They are used to being on top of their conference, the MOAC.
They were actually picked number 2 for the MOAC this year behind Clawson, which they lost to last week, 13-6. So they played one of the stalwarts of the conference very tight last week.
And they've had some tight battles all along. Very close battles. Here we go, 2nd and about 4 coming up. In motion, Slavinsky. The handoff goes to Agboka. This time he stopped.
Straight handoff. Hutchins that time didn't follow through with a good fake after the handoff, and he needs to do that in order to hold those linebackers in there, because if he doesn't, they're going to start keying on that first running back and leaving him alone.
Loss of a couple yards. It'll be 3rd and about 6 coming up.
Here's a key play in the drive, Dave. They need to sustain this. They're in 2-down territory. They're not going to kick at this point. So they need to at least get to the 4th and 1 if they don't get it.
Hutchins sends his man in motion. That's Jashawn Allen. Handoff to Agboka again, spinning away. Picks up the first down and more. Finally down inside the 20 to about the 24-yard line. Oh, excuse me, to about the 16-yard line. Going the wrong way.
What, this senior, you could tell this is his last homecoming, and watch this personal effort. This is 2nd and 3rd effort going off tackle this time. He gets hit right there. Now watch the leg drive. He's turned around, he spins, keeps those legs moving, and gets an extra 8-10 yards on that run. Excellent run by Agboka.
Look here at Jamie Robinson on the sideline, the starting tackle for Avondale. Big guy, 6'4", 225 senior. He's out. carry by Joey Allen, not much that time. It'll be 2nd and long coming up.
Yeah, they need to get him back in there. They were real effective earlier in the game running off tackle, and his blocks were the key on that right side. He's the starting right tackle and a big one, so they need to get him back in there.
Just underway here in the second quarter, 10:30 left. And the Yellow Jackets want to get into the end zone to take the lead here. They trail 12-7. 2nd and 8. Hutchins sends Allen in motion. On the option of the pitch to Joey Allen. He's got some room to run. Touchdown!
Tony Messina pulled a good call there, faking up the middle. They came after Hutchins. Everybody pinched in. Your linebackers came up. Everybody went after Hutchins, left Allen alone, and the pitch got him around the corner. Take a look. Here's the fake. This sets up the first, freezes the linebackers inside. Corner comes up, takes the quarterback, and when he does that, there's nobody outside to keep up with Joey Allen, who's got excellent speed, and goes in for the touchdown.
Back and forth with the scoring. Madison scored first, then Avondale. Madison, now Avondale again. The extra point is up. It is good.
Hey, they've got 2 in a row here. That's
great. Those extra points come in handy. 14-12, a big 2-point lead, and those extra points that Madison has missed looming large right now.
Well, it's not a big thing right now. Take a look at the score, 14-12. Let's say this happens one more time. 21-17. We got 21-19. 21-18 if they miss another one. Field goal would tie it. So a little lesson on mathematics there.
And don't forget to tune in to The Master Angler as we feature some of the latest in fishing tips and techniques, and some of the guests, Babe Winkleman and well, Bob Griglick possibly.
Well, I was out there Tuesday with Mr. Gomez, and it was a rough day. It was real high sky, high pressure center built in. We only caught 2.
I didn't know that had anything to do with fishing.
Fishing has a lot to do with the weather. It really does.
Yeah?
It's an animal type thing, obviously, but
well, you're an animal.
We all are.
Yes.
You got to get back with nature.
That's the Master Angler, and that's at 7 p.m. And whistles all over the place. Tuesdays and Thursdays, excuse me. I forgot to tell everybody the times, but you can see it.
I won't be on this week's show because we only caught 2 fish, so.
That's it, huh? All right, we'll hear the call down on the field.
Dead ball foul. Encroachment. Kicking team.
There we go. Dead ball foul. And
encroachment means somebody crossed the line of scrimmage prior to kicking the ball. In other words, it's offsides.
Offsides before the ball was even
exactly
played.
That's why they blew the whistle right away. It's a dead ball.
So no action could be taken. Kickoff coming from the 35-yard line again. And taken by the Eagles. Taken by Gale out to about the 37-yard line. So good field position now for the Madison Eagles.
Gale does it all, similar to Kenneth Hutchins does on the Yellow Jackets. He's been playing kickoffs. He runs the ball at quarterback like Hutchins, and he also plays defense. Here's a take a look at Gale as he goes up the line, following those blockers. Nice return, gets some excellent field position at the 37-yard line.
And here come the Madison Eagles now. Ball at the 37, 1st and 10 now. 9:45 left in the first half. Gale on the quick dive, and he spins and turns and gives it to his tailback. And a good run there by number 32, and that is Todd Graves. Graves has done a good job in coming in and running the ball. He is only a sophomore.
Take a look at the Avondale Yellow Jackets. Their homecoming here today. Neither team has been stopped on offense, so we've seen no punts today. That was one of the negative things last week for the Yellow Jackets. They didn't have a real good punting game.
2nd down and 5 now. In motion is Krieger. And again, a whistle on the play.
It's like the offense might have jumped. The defense baited them a little bit with a little bit of movement, and I think they got them to jump. Yes, they did.
And it's against the Eagles. That'll knock them back. Let's hear the call down on the field.
Good job, good job. Dead foul. False start. Offense.
And again, another dead ball foul. Not even getting the snap off, really.
The defense can do any kind of movement they want, Dave, as long as they don't cross the plane of the ball. If they do that, then they're going to call offsides, but they didn't.
2nd and 11. The pass, and it's a quick hitter, and it will be close to a first down. Brian Miller on the reception.
And again, you can take a look at the pass here. There's no real authority on it, just a little flip play. It's effective. It got him close to the first down. They're going to call for measurement.
Not your ideal pass, but enough to get close to a first down.
Well, if you take a look at the statistics, though, he's 4 of 5, I believe, in passing. So he's been effective throwing that little shovel pass.
Gale keeping his tailback number that he's had for 2 years, number 33, at the quarterback position. They pick up the first down. So the Eagles are in business now. The ball at about the 48-yard line, we'll say. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Now 47 as I look at the
You can actually see the yardage markers here on this field, which is an unusual event for us here at TCI Cable. We can actually tell you where the ball is.
This is nice.
This is nice.
They've done a nice job this week. I've got to hand it to them. See the yard markers. Last week we had a little bit of trouble doing that. But this being homecoming week, pull out all the stops. Gale rolling out. Gale going to number 11, Krieger. Krieger picks up the first down.
Nice way to find that open area in the zone. He throws the ball on the run. Not too bad. This is one of his better passes. You can see right here. Here's the fake, freezing the linebackers inside. He goes around the corner. Another somewhat flip pass, but Krieger makes the reception. Slips a little bit right there, but gets the ball down to the 40 and another first down.
Ball just over the 40-yard line at the 41. 1st and 10 for the Eagles as they move. They just get the handoff off to Graves, and he picks up a good carry, close to about 8 or 9 yards.
I'll tell you what, talking about just getting the handoff, you're absolutely right there. As Krieger turned, excuse me, not as Krieger, but as Gale turned around, he was hitting the back as he was handing the ball off.
8 yards on the carry, 2nd and 2 coming up.
Neither offense is having problems here today. You got both defenses on their heels, and 2nd and 2 is a good position.
On the sideline, still out, and a first down carry for number 34, Lopes.
They're taking advantage of that right side. That's where Jamie Robinson plays defensive tackle. So they're taking advantage of his substitute over there and running the ball awful well.
And Robinson's still out. Here's the play. And the dive by Lopes. First down for Lopes and first down for the Eagles now. Ball at about the 27-yard line, excuse me. 1st and 10 there. In motion, Krieger. The pitch goes back to Lopes. He's hitting the backfield for a loss.
Oh, great play by Afore Aboka. I'll tell you what, that senior is coming through and having one of the better games of his career here today. That time he shot the gap, and what you can see right here, he just rides him to the ground. There's the pitch. Nice pitch in control. He takes the ball back, and now watch 50 shoot into your screen right here. Comes Aboka. Good defensive play right there. Grabs a hold of him, won't let him go. Wrestles him to the ground.
Aboka hits him for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 12. Gale got a lot of room to run, and he'll take it himself. Cuts outside. He'll pick up a first down.
Not a real pretty play, but that threat of a pass on that option play right there kept that defense at bay. Kept those linebackers frozen in the backfield. They had to cover those receivers in the secondary, and because of that, Gale will be able to turn the corner. You can see right here. Here's the fake. Right there. That little fake right there is enough to freeze the linebackers and get them around the corner, and that got him the first down.
Ball at about the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. And Graves just getting the handoff again. Gale having a little trouble in turning around there, but hey, they're just getting it off and it's working.
They're trying to run that middle again. What they're doing, the defense has tightened up a little bit. They brought the linebackers inside, and they're starting to control that middle a little bit better than they did on the last drive, where they took advantage of that.
Gain of only a yard now, 2nd and 9. They can pick up a first down at about the 3-yard line. Gale loses the ball, and the Yellow Jackets Jackets come up with it, a big turnover.
Huge play. We have been talking for the last 4 plays that Gale's been having a hard time getting the handoff. He that time turned around and it was hit as he tried to make the handoff. The ball popped loose. You can see right here. Now watch the defense shoot right through. He's going to turn around right there, trying to make the handoff. The defense hits him first. 74 was in right there. That's Gary next. He's the captain. He's a senior, and he's playing a good game here today too. He's the defensive end shooting in, so that was a heck of a play.
And getting in there quickly, number 52.
Hold that ball out again. I'll take it again.
And the Yellow Jackets taking advantage of it now. Let's see if they can put it in the end zone. Ekboka on the carry. A good second effort to get past the line of scrimmage.
Nothing fancy that time. Stopping them when they did was a real key to this Avondale team. This Yellow Jacket team now is fired up. First time they stopped them on defense. She's a homecoming queen, but I'm sure she's somebody's
one of them.
There you go.
A number of them. And down on the field, an injured Madison Eagle. It is number 71, Rob Ralph. We mentioned his name before on a sack play. 6'3", 265, and he is only a sophomore.
Looks like it might be his arm. They're kind of holding his arm or his elbow. Trying to move it gingerly. That's what they're doing. It looks like it is an elbow injury. Sometimes you'll pop somebody on the helmet with that elbow, and I'll tell you what, your whole arm will go numb. If that had happened to me, where you hit that funny bone and you can't even move it. It just burns.
This is not a player that the Eagles can afford to lose. Rob Ralph, offensive and defensive tackle. There's your score, 14-12 in favor of the Yellow Jackets here in the second quarter. And the emergency crew ready if needed.
They're looking on. I don't think they're gonna be okay. Look at him trying to squeeze his hand. Again, it's probably that funny bone. He probably just lost feeling in that arm for a short period of time. He'll probably be back in shortly.
Let's hope it's that. And big round of applause there for Ralph. As he goes off. 4:53 left here in the first half. 14-12 as the Yellow Jackets lead. And have come up with a big turnover here. I'd like to pad that lead right now. 2 points is not a very comfortable lead. 2nd and 6 as we pick up the action now. Hutchins on the handoff on the straight dive, and not much there. Gain of a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and short yardage coming up, 3rd and 2.
That play didn't work. The corner came up and filled and actually got him in the backfield, slowed him down, and that's why it didn't work. They had plenty of people. They ran the tight end on both sides.
And there we see a homecoming couple.
I think that's our theme for homecoming. It looks like it's Disney. So I'm sure we'll be hearing plenty of Disney music at halftime. Oh boy.
What do they have there, Bud?
Looks like Mickey and Minnie.
What are they? Are they eating something?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So they can take a break too. 3rd and short yardage. Back to pass, going deep and off the fingers of number 22, intended for Joey Allen.
Yeah, today's a big day for Disney. Take a look right here. Here's the pass over the middle. Hutchins goes back to pass and looking for a receiver. There's nobody there. He sort of basically just throws that one into a zone. Throws way overthrown.
He could have either thrown to Allen or just a little bit further down the field.
Threw it into a zone, it looked like, and neither of them was able to get it.
Hansen was just a little bit further downfield.
I was mentioning about Disney. The Mighty Ducks opened up their season there against the Wings.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Well, they are tonight, later on.
And the first punt that we've seen for the Yellow Jackets, taken by Gale. Gale down the sideline, still stays in and hit hard there by Brendan Major. Brendan Major hits him, but we have a flag down on the play.
I'll tell you what, there's a couple 200-pounders popping each other right there. Major's 205. We do have a flag. I'll tell you what, you saw Gale take that ball on the line. If he did not catch that ball on the line, that punt could have went all the way down to the goal line. There's a illegal clip. That ball's going to come back on the return. Negates a nice return and a nice play by Gale, who returned that ball for 30 yards after the call.
Personal foul, clipping on the run back, 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
So 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Let's see if we can see it. This knocks them back deep into their own territory.
Nice catch right in the shoulder pads. That's where they can usually bounce out. Let's see if we can see a clip right here. Don't see one at this point. That if they call that a clip, that's going to be a touchy call because it looked like he had position on him potentially to get in front of him. So I don't know. That was a close call.
Ball at about the 41-yard line. And not much there on the first down carry by Graves.
He went right back to that crossbuck type play when he turns around, hands the ball off to the running back going over the middle. That's been their bread and butter so far today. That time they were able to block well enough to get a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 now. Madison Eagles, they trail the Yellow Jackets 14-12. Pass goes out.
That's a fumble.
To Miller and a fumble, and let's see. It was a lateral. And lost a little bit of yardage on that, maybe a half a yard.
Take a look right here. This is definitely thrown backwards. You can see right there, he's throwing the ball backwards. That ball should have been caught right in his hands. Tried to run with it before he had it. Now he needs to just fall on it, which he does, which is a smart play, and maintain possession.
Bob, I think they're waving to you.
Oh, they've got flowers. Well,
flowers. That's what I was wondering what they're holding.
I don't think they're eating flowers. That would have been...
Gale to throw deep, and overthrows his intended receiver, Miller.
I'll tell you what, Tony Gardner was open down here. He was running a post pattern down on the left sideline, running toward the middle. There he is, number 3, Gardner. He was open, but he didn't see him. He was throwing instead to
Miller.
Brian Miller.
And it's the first time that we've seen Gale air it out. Scott Gale went deep that time. A lot of his passes have been short.
That time he did, and you can see maybe why they don't throw deep a lot is because he's not very accurate.
And the first punt for the Madison Eagles. This is a good one. Back to the 20. And who's got it? It's up for grabs. Dennis Hutchins has had his trouble.
The Eagles have it.
On kickoffs, and now on the punt. Let's see who gets
it. What a break for this Yellow Jacket team. I don't know. Did Hutchins fall on that one?
Hutchins and...
He must have, yeah.
I think number 23, Scott Hall, were wrestling for it at the end. And Hutchins came up with it.
I thought Hall had that one all the way. It looks like he dove on it after the fumble was made. Hutchins is having a real hard time here on kicks. Now watch him right here. He should have caught that ball. He looked down in the last second. Now watch Hall right in here. Looks like he's got the ball. He fell on it. It looks like his old man knocked him off of it. And there's right here in the right bottom corner. Hutchins came up with it.
For the Yellow Jackets. 1:56 left here in the first half. They can strike quickly. They can get in the end zone. And they go for the big one. They're going to Jashawn Allen. He's got it. No, incomplete as he caught it out of bounds.
He let him just right, just threw it a little bit over the right shoulder. And when he had to go for the ball, he went out of bounds and couldn't bring it in bounds. He was open. The ball was actually thrown late, Dave. Because if he threw the ball earlier, he was open early. And then it gave the defender time to catch up. You see right there, as he runs the ball, it runs out of bounds, and it's an incomplete pass. Good fake, though. It throws everybody in. Gave him plenty of time to throw. You saw last week, Hutchins had a lot of time to throw pretty much all day.
2nd down and 10. 1:46 left here in the first half. Kenneth Hutchins, the quarterback. Drops back, getting pressure, looks the other way. Joey Allen, and incomplete.
He's trying to set up the screen. That time the offensive line did not give him enough time to set it up. He looked right, threw back left, but you can see he had too much pressure in his face and had to force that one into Allen. Here's the fake. He's rolling right, looks right, throws left. You can see that defense made him they might even tip that ball, Dave. Yeah. I think they did.
3rd and 10 now. Yellow Jackets. 1:40 left in the second quarter. They lead 14-12 over the Madison Heights Eagles. Back to pass. Hutchins, a quick one. It's complete to Hanson. Hanson.
Get the ball in the other hand, Jason.
Hanson down inside the 15-yard line at the 13.
Unbelievable play. Just when they needed it, down 13. They're down 3rd and 10, and Hanson comes up with a reception. He goes back to pass, and again, he's got plenty of time to throw the ball, and a lot of it has to do with that fake right there. Throws the ball right over the middle on a nice pass. It was tipped. Oh, it was tipped right to Hansen. Did you see that, Dave? Hansen takes the ball. He's got to put the ball in the other hand, because that 42 or 12 right there can knock the ball loose. There he switches it, which is a good play. Holds on to the ball. He gets all the way down to the 12-yard line.
How about the 13?
All right,
So,
the 13.
13.
12 and a half.
Just wanna, I'm always correcting myself. Might as well correct you. Ball at the 13. Timeout down on the field. And what a play for the Yellow Jackets. They came through on a third and 10 and a big first down conversion.
Tony Messina wants to talk about this one, Dave, and Willie should. There's only a minute and 27 seconds left. They can get a first down, Dave, before they go into the end zone. So it might not be necessary to score that quickly.
Where can they get the first down at? What yard?
Looks like at about the 3. You're right. Okay. All right. I'll give you that one.
Okay. There we go. That's settled. And don't forget to tune into Transition. It's a program designed to give perspective on African American issues. Host Jeffrey Miller will conduct interviews with with not himself, but Louis Farrakhan, John Conyers, and Coleman Young. Let's transition. And there is not only our competition. That is not our competition. That's the high school
yearbook video,
there.
right?
Yearbook video, and that is my favorite intern that we've had at TCI.
She's perky, you say, right?
She's just a fun person to be around.
Okay.
Becky Klepp, and just want to give her some press here tonight. Taking it himself is Kenneth Hutchins with a touchdown. 13 yards, Kenneth Hutchins will do it himself.
Here's a question, did he score too early? That gives the Eagles a minute and 20 seconds left still to come back. But nonetheless, they don't want to take those points off, to take time off. Here's Hutchins, you can see right here, he spins and makes the fake up the middle to Boca. And he keeps the ball himself, runs around, and breaks a couple tackles, shows why he's so slick in there, and gets through for the touchdown. Nice run, nice fakes. They're going for the extra point. Let's see if they can make 3 in a row.
And this is a big extra point. They are leading up. And it is up. It is good.
Oh, big leg, too. I'll tell you what, he had about 25 yards to spare.
I tell you, where was Brandon Major last week?
He sure didn't do it. Of course, he only had 1 extra point try. So, but he did miss that one in the week before. 21 points here scored for the Avondale Yellow Jackets in the first half. That doubles their total for the last 2 weeks, where they scored 6 and then 6 the week before.
Something about homecoming gets you fired up. Tony Messina. I think when Tony takes his hat off, that's when they start doing it.
He seemed pretty calm after the game last week. We talked to him down on the field after the game, and he had thought his team had played a good game. He's proud of them. There's Kenneth Hutchins. Showing a real good arm this week as well as last, and you can see right there has the running ability to match that.
13-yard run puts his team up 21-12 with 1:20 left here in the first half. And a little change receiving-wise, I guess, for Madison. It'll be 33 back there, Scott Gale and Mike Lopes. And here's a short kick, and taken there by number 56, Adam Goddard.
Well, I don't think that was a planned kick, Dave. He just kind of missed that one. All right, they've got a minute, 19 seconds. It only took a second. He must have went right down. But they've got plenty of time to put some points on the board. Wind is virtually no factor. They will be going against the wind. We got a late breeze of say about 8 to 10 miles per hour, so it will be in their face. So they need to get down deep.
They've got good field position at the 43. Gale will take it himself, trying to cut up field, and maybe gets a yard or 2. Unfortunately for Gale, he went out on Avondale's sideline.
Yeah, he did go out of bounds. That clock ran about 6 seconds after he went out of bounds, so I don't know if Coach Robert Crowell caught that, but it's going to stand at 59 seconds. Going to call timeout here with 59 seconds left, and second down and about 8.
Second down and 8 now, and I don't know if there was an immediate call to stop the clock, but they still have time to go here.
No, they called timeout. I thought he had gotten out of bounds. Maybe he didn't. and it's hard to see down there because the Yellow Jackets were all piled up around it. Again, they ran right into their bench, and they're pumped up here. They've only won one game this year, but their record does not depict what kind of team this is. This is a good, solid team that, as long as they don't make mistakes, are usually in every game.
There you see the Eagles coming back now. They're ready to go. 59 seconds left. 21-12. Madison trails. They have the ball at about the 46-yard line.
I have a feeling that this Eagle team, if they get too far behind, they're going to be in real trouble because we haven't seen much of an arm from Scott Gale. I don't think he can throw the ball downfield that well.
Got a strong arm, but we haven't really been able to see if he's been very accurate. There's a broken play that he threw deep on. Here we go. Gale going short and just out of the reach of John Krieger.
I shouldn't really be getting down on Scott Gale. Keep in mind he was a running back for 2 years, so he's really playing out of position. He's going to throw the ball right here. You can see he just throws it from right at his ear. Now, he doesn't get on top of the ball and throws it on a low plane, so that ball has a low trajectory and could be blocked at the line of scrimmage quite often. So far, it hasn't been.
Clock stopped at 54 seconds left here in the first half. Scott Gale, a quarterback, on a 3rd and 8 situation. And they try the draw, and it doesn't work, as the Yellow Jackets wrap them up at about the 48-yard line.
The Yellow Jackets might get the ball back. They might want to call a timeout. They'll have time potentially to take the ball down the field. There's 40 seconds, so we do have a timeout by the Yellow Jackets, it looks like. So they're going to get one more chance at it.
40 seconds left on that clock.
They've been real active. Hutchins has got a real strong arm. He's got a good receiver, and Jason Thompson, who's shown he's got ability to break in the open and run with the ball after.
Jason Thompson?
Jason Hansen, excuse me.
Now, there is a John Thompson.
There's a John Thompson.
I'll save
Jason
you, Bob.
Thompson used to play baseball
There's
for
a John Thompson here.
for the Tigers.
Actually, was Mike Lopes on the last carry. I want to mention that.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Well, on the last carry, we didn't get a chance to mention it. You went into the long explanation of the thing. I couldn't tell. But here we go now with 40 seconds left, and the Yellow Jackets think they can do something with a little time left on the clock. They call a timeout. They're in good field position, and they want to see if they can pick up any yardage on this punt return. Now, Hutchins has had a tough time on kickoff and punt returns, and we'll see what he wants to do here.
We saw a nice leg by Gale earlier. So.
Here's Gale, and a good one. He tries to angle it out of bounds, and they'll pick it up back at the 35, right around the 35-yard line. That's where it went out of bounds.
That's a good mark and a good spot.
Yeah, the referee looks up and tries to figure out where that ball actually goes out of bounds as he stands right on the line.
And that gives them decent field position. A couple passes, they've got 35 seconds. And we've seen a strong leg so far on the other side here, so who knows? Major has done a better job today than he did last week, that's for sure.
But like you said, he only had one opportunity,
That's true.
Which I forgot totally. And here we go. 35 seconds left on the clock here in the first half. In motion is Deshaun Allen. Hutchins back to pass. He's got time, but runs into one of the defenders, and now they're going to catch up to him from behind. A flag is down. He gets the pass off, incredibly. And a lot of confusion on that play, especially in the backfield. It looked like had Hutchins just stay in the pocket, he'd been all right.
He would have stepped up in the pocket, he'd have been fine, but he rolled out, and I think that's the telltale sign of a young quarterback. There's the call right there. It's a holding against the Yellow Jackets. That'll push him back. And what they'll probably do now, Dave, is just run time off the clock. They'll probably just put a knee down or give it a quick handoff.
Yeah, you don't want to see an interception here.
And he almost did throw one on that play.
Yeah. As he was throwing off balance, being chased. Now let's take a look. If he steps up, like you said, if he steps up in the pocket right about here, he'd have been all right. But now he runs right into one of the defenders.
And he strung him out outside, and you can see right here, he gets away. He's really elusive. There's a hold right there. He kind of tackled him. As he throws the ball, take a look right here. That ball could have been intercepted. And should have been.
And should have been. Big loss on the play of about 15 yards, and it's 1st and 25 after the penalty. Going to go to the air. Hutchins right down the middle of the field, intended for Joey Allen, and that would have opened things up quite a bit, Bob.
I'll tell you what, Joey Allen was wide open, and Tony Messina is showing that he's not satisfied with this 21-12 lead. He wants more points, and now it's second down, excuse me, because we didn't lose it down the first time in 25. I guess now if you wanted to, you could put your knee down and run the timeout, but that showed some guts there. You thought maybe if he broke open a big play, he'd have a chance.
Let's see what they do here. 20 seconds left, 2nd and 25 for the Yellow Jackets. Kenneth Hutchins calls the signals and hands off to Joey Allen. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage, and that will pretty much run the clock out here and end the first half of play. Well, you've got to be impressed with the way the Yellow Jackets have handled themselves offensively, Bob.
They really haven't stopped. They haven't been stopped. They've only stopped themselves. That's about the scenario here today.
And that'll end the first half of play here at Avondale High School on homecoming night, as the Yellow Jackets lead 21-12. We'll be back to give you the halftime stats right after these messages. Stay with us. If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports.